Hello, welcome to Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Please push like. Let's just leave it there. I have the hat on my head so flies don't land on it. Sometimes I can't feel them when they sit there during these videos. So I put one on. And by the way, do you guys know what chicken houses smell like? So when the wind blows or it's settled like this, you get a breeze, there's chicken houses back up there. This whole town smells like a chicken house right now. Horrible. This is a story about a guy that I will call, I gotta think of a name because of where he is. Let's call him Chuck. Okay, this is a story about a guy named Chuck. I just made that name up. He's incarcerated. The staff will know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm not trying to do this. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not trying to rat somebody out and get them in trouble. Anyway, so here's the deal. This also involved a member of the Tango Blast, Texas-based. I believe that they weren't supposed to be a gang, but they are. We don't need to get into that right now. They're called Tango Blast. This has happened at FMC Hospital. Actually happened on, what did I just pick the wrong paper? 8/24, I believe it was. I just saw the date, 8/24, okay? Between 5 and 5:30 p.m. And here's what goes down. Chucky, what did I say was the name? Chucky was an orderly, okay? He was a white guy, white orderly. Chucky was a major deuce head. That means that he smoked K2 constantly. And if you don't know anything about people that do synthetic marijuana, also known as K2 and spice, go look at videos about it. They become zombies. There are some people that can handle it. This guy was a zombie at times, but he was a functioning K2 addict, okay? He was also an orderly. Had cancer. Bad cancer. So much so that he got out on compassionate release. As a matter of fact, when this incident happened, he had already been granted compassionate release. For whatever reason, and the sentence, by the way, I'm going to say, let's just say he had a 20-year sentence. He did about 4, and the judge gave him 16-year break. With good time, 14-year break, okay? All right. So we got a guy that's dying of cancer, neck and brain maybe, neck and lung or whatever. K2, he's a deuce, we call him deuce heads, hardcore deuce head. Strong as an ox, tough as can be, half cocked, and at least every couple of weeks was firing on somebody, punching somebody. I'd never known him to lose a fight. As an orderly, he passed out trays when he wanted to. Now, for example, I was an orderly that did very little. I was a supervisor, but during the meals, you want to pass out trays because there's perks to it. You get extra trays. Extra trays, you don't just eat more. You can trade for different items, contraband or whatever. You know, it's a perk to be able to be the tray guy at the hospital on the 4th floor. By the way, there are some inmates that do go to the chow hall, but there are some that are allowed to have trays brought to them because they're too sick or they know how to work the system, okay? They know how to work the system. So what happens is there's an orderly from each range. So there's 4 ranges on the 4th floor, A, B, C, D. And then, then you've got a guy that's the main tray guy that passes it out. After everybody gets a tray, so let's say 16 people on B range, 14 people on A range, 2 people on C range, they pass them out like that. There's always going to be extras. The right thing to do is for the main guy that passes the trays from the cart and puts, so there's a metal tray cart that comes in. It's like a hot box is what they're called. Then they put it on carts, like regular push carts, and then each 4 orderlies will bring it to their unit. The guy that does the hot boxes or the cold box, whatever meal it is, because there's hot and cold. If they're good people, if they're good dudes, what they do is after they're done filling the quotas and numbers, Then they start handing them out to the orderlies, and that's all extra trays. There's sometimes you get 6 or 7 extra trays, okay? Well, there was a guy on A range who was a member of Tango Blast. The only member of Tango Blast there, but there were some other Mexicans from Texas, okay? This dude was about 6'1", big Mexican dude. About it, no joke. I forgot he was in his 30s. I forgot what kind of cancer this dude had. Not one that's going to take him out. But he had cancer, and he went through treatment and stuff like that. So what happens is he bulldogs the trays. So after he's done passing them out, he's keeping them, and he's giving them to the Paisas and the Texas dudes. So he ran with the Paisas, which Paisas are Mexicans from Mexico, okay? Just in case you guys don't know. I do this a lot, don't I? I just noticed that. But anyway, this dude was, because of his size, because this dude Chucky does not appear, he's probably about 5'8", 5'9". You would not think that this guy can fight, but he could, Chucky. But this dude was basically punking him out. And let's be honest, because he was white, okay? And he actually did that with the black dudes too. So this guy was about this. These trays were his. He was going to give you what you had coming, and that's it. Okay. So Chucky says something to him. Hey man, can you get an extra tray? And the dude blew him off like he was some punk. Okay. So Chucky's in his feelings. He passed out the trays, and he said, "Hey, come with me." And I said, "What's up?" And he says, "I'm about to get into it with this Mexican dude. Don't do nothing. If he starts whooping, pull him off me. Let it go. But if I start getting my ass smashed, stop it." I've done that before, the fight with Big Jerry. So I got it. Well, by that time, a black dude already told other guys that, and it was a black guy, I'm not just saying that this dude talked bad to Chucky, okay? I forgot the dude's name, and he's out of prison. I forgot his name, Tango Blast dude. So they knew it was going to be on. The black dudes knew that this dude Chucky's no punk, right? He just wanted to get his job done. Probably take a hit of K2. Who knows? So and by the time we walked over, there was Eminem. Gary there was ended up being about 5 or 6 guys. Now, there was probably 10 Mexican dudes, but nobody knew what was going to happen over there, So Chucky walks up to the dude. The dude sees him and snickers. He said, "What's up with you?" And he said, "Man, I think I don't like the way you disrespect us." He goes, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Straight. And sees all of us white guys, right? So what I'm telling you, this dude can fight now. In spite of what I'm about to tell you, I'm telling you, I know people, guys will surprise you about their fighting skills. This dude was a fighter, okay? So Chucky, the dude calls him a bitch several times. You can see that Chucky was nervous. You can see his blood pumping. You can see his adrenaline starting. What happened was, so they're on each other. They're doing that whole, "What's up?" Like to the face, which that's, and Chucky then gives him, boom, an uppercut. Bam, hits him. This dude starts hitting him, and you can just see they were powerful punches. And I know it rocked Chucky for a second. Chucky then grabbed him this way, latched onto him. The guy couldn't get his arms undone, and they both fell to the floor. When they fell to the floor, there was a door stopper for whatever it was. It was some metal thing, like a door stopper behind the cell, or was it the railing? Because the stopper thing, I don't think it was on that range. Whatever it was, when he fell, the Tango Blast dude, he hit his leg on this, and it hurt him bad, and he went, ah. This is when Chucky went hard, and he was like, the aha moment got him, and just boom, boom. And this dude's saying, all right, okay, bitch, get off me, bitch. That's what he was saying. He was telling Chucky, calling him a bitch left and right, saying, get off me. And it's like, that's not what you do to stop the fight, right? But the dude was wounded, and he was upset because in his heart, he felt he can smoke Chucky, he can beat his ass, But He ended up, I think it was broken. He had his leg jacked up for about 6 weeks afterwards. He had crutches and stuff. Chucky was a sport. As soon as he said, stop, hey, stop calling me a bitch and I'll get up. Stop calling me a bitch and I'll stop. He says, all right. So Chucky reached his hand, picked him up, said, we good? He said, yeah, and he hobbled off, and the dude was, he was wounded. I'm gonna go ahead, so that's that part. I'll go ahead and finish the story. Chucky gets out on a compassionate release. He was smoking deuce the day he left, okay? He goes to a state towards the East Coast. I'm not even gonna mention, because I don't want to. Anyway, he goes to the state towards the East Coast. He's out for several months, gets a dirty urine for methamphetamine. This guy was sent home and put on house arrest to be with his family for his last years. You never know how cancer is going to work, right? Also, Chucky had some fighting shots, some fighting disciplinaries on his record. The judge still let him out because he was sympathetic towards the fact that he was dying. Chucky pops dirty for methamphetamine. The judge revokes, gives him a violation and gave him 2 years, which is going to finish him in prison. And I happen to know he's back in prison today, deuced out. All deuced, but that's how he rolled, and he can afford it. But anyway, this video is when the Tango Blast got blasted. No disrespect to Tango Blast, man. I've known a lot of good Tango Blast dudes, by the way. Not like I can name them all, but in general, I was around a lot of them. Just like any other group, you got some good ones and you got a bunch of bad ones, but the Tango Blast dudes are all right. So I don't want this to be any anti-Tango Blast. That's not what it was about. It was about one dude who, he had it coming for real. He had it coming for the way he treated him, Anyway, take care.